I don't do a lot of selfies, you know. I love taking videos of other people though. So I realize there's some aspect of me that doesn't like being on camera, that doesn't really like talking. And there's another aspect of me that thinks it's, I don't know, maybe narcissistically special. There's a part of me that just wants to say something, you know, in a way that I don't really do. I just feel so like I need to talk about this idea of healing stuff that's got you stuck. Because when you're as stuck as I was, I mean, I was really, really stuck. Like I didn't know I was stuck either. I mean, everyone around you knows that you're stuck, but you don't know you're stuck. I was trapped. I was trapped because I didn't know what to do. Just more positive. I was anxious all the time. I felt powerless. You know, I didn't really know how I got to this place. I just felt trapped, and I didn't talk about it because I was too scared to talk about it. And all of a sudden it was like 2020 and I'm a completely different person than I used to be, and I don't know how that happened. And it's because I stopped talking in a lot of ways, just because I was so afraid the things that I was going to say were so crazy that nobody would want me to be around them if that's the kind of weirdo shit that I was talking about. They're really sad. Like, humans, I think, are meant to talk. And then at some point, you know, I realized I had to do something, and no one was going to swoop in and save me. Like in this particular circumstance, this is like a you project. Like a lot of us, like, this is why we came to Earth, right? Like, this is the one thing, this is the mission. My mission was that I had to do it alone, at least I thought. But I was thinking about that the wrong way. Yes, you have to decide to do whatever the thing is, whatever is uncomfortable in your life. And everyone's got something that's really uncomfortable, and I don't know about y'all, but I lost it. Like, I used to know what would make me uncomfortable, and I would do things to avoid that circumstance. But then all of a sudden it became so subconscious that I was like, I put like a box around the things that made me scared or sad or uncomfortable or shamed. And I just like I didn't even know that I was in the box. Like, I would get ejected from it. So I could be having a conversation with you and you might be talking about something, and I might lose like 5 seconds of our time together because you said something that was uncomfortable to me, and my processor, my software didn't know how to handle it. And so I just turned off for a second. And it's shameful, man. I mean, I don't want to bleep out on y'all. I think people are, my friends are the coolest. My friends are the coolest thing about being alive. And I don't want to just vanish in the middle of our conversation without any control. So that was my thing. I had to figure out why this was happening and, you know, face it and actually realize that it's a problem that's been affecting my work life, my personal life, my whole life. And I can't remember a time where that wasn't happening, but I can tell you it's happening with so much more frequency now. I mean, y'all, sometimes I disconnect like up to like 80 times a day. I just don't know what happened. Something is happening that's setting off like a red alarm in my head, and it's like a priority one. This is a situation like that person might have a gun, or you might be in danger. It's like a big deal. And then you're talking, or one of my friends, or Blake is talking, and I'm trying so desperately to pay attention to what you're saying because I care about you a lot, and I don't want to be ripped away. But then that's happening, and I can't sustain either. I know if I go back and I lash out and I go into panic, it, like, you know, it poisons the energy of that room. Like when someone just freaks out and they're just very negative, you know, how the whole feeling of the energy is, I don't want to do that. But I also can't just pretend it's not happening. So I feel like my consciousness gets like torn in half. And y'all, this has been happening like I feel like hundreds of times a day. And when that happens, I guess I just go into like the little spinning wheel, like on the Apple device. You're waiting for the program to decide to do something. I can't do anything. Like, I do that like so much, and every time I do that, I have to like reboot. I have to come back. I have to remember what was happening, and half the time I can't, which is this is very scary. You know, you're just like, oh my god, what was I just doing? I mean, it literally is like a horror movie. That's why I love those Netflix horror shows so much. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally know how that feels to just randomly lose time and not feel safe enough to talk about it with anybody. I just didn't want to be so crazy that you all gave up on me and threw me in like a, you know, asylum with terrible food. Like, oh, can't do it. I have to have my good food. Anyway, man, I feel like this is going to happen to every person, and I don't know why I feel like I have the authority to say that. But I feel like every person who's alive on this planet right now, everybody is going to have to face something, if they're not already in the process of it, that changes your life. And it is scary. And so we put it off, right? We just know there are these moments where unconsciously we're super uncomfortable and we don't like it, and we react in some way that we regret later, whether it's to our wives or our husbands or our children or the dog. Like, you just snap and you don't know why, and you're how to get out of it. Like, that is what I'm talking about. And everybody has that, even though some of us hide it so well. Single one of us has a thing that is unconsciously dictating our actions around the people we love, and it hurts them, and we don't want to be responsible for it. I mean, I for sure don't want to hurt anybody, and in order to heal it, you have to feel those feelings. Look at me, I'm like shaking. It's uncomfortable every time I think about it. We have to feel the things that we don't want to feel, because within them we got stuck or hurt. And that little piece of us, it is us. Whether that's us at 7 years old, or us at 16 when we first got dumped, or us at 22 when we realized fatality is real. Whatever part of us got hurt is there, and it is like asking for the rest of us to help it. And that's the scary part about healing. You're like, okay, I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm either at rock bottom, or I just am, I just am uncomfortable, and I want to see if there's anything better. All of a sudden, all of these chaotic things start happening. Like, you're getting triggered 24/7, and you're being presented with really awful situations, and you just want it to be easy and calm, and you just say, oh, hell to it, and you go back into your little bubble, right? Because, well, what's happening is all of the stuff that the experience that you need to have, the encounter you need to have to help heal the part of you that's stuck at 7 or 16 or 22 is happening so you can do it. And boy, it is not comfortable, especially when you overdo it and ask for all of this, and like 6 of them come at the same time. You got to take one at a time. It's impossible to do more than one at a time. You've got to, as you are presented with these supremely uncomfortable realizations or situations where you can no longer hide from how unhappy you are, you got to do something about it. And that's why it's happening. It's not a curse. It's not God punishing you. It's not you punishing you. It's not Earth punishing you. It is a way for you to stop feeling so bad. But in order to succeed in your mission, you have to make a choice you've never made before, or else you wouldn't be stuck. So whatever that choice is, whatever the thing is that you don't do because it's a part of who you are, you've got to challenge it, because inside of that is the piece of you that got hurt, and it needs to be reunited with the rest of you in love and feel free and happy and joyful and become that kid that you used to be, where you were so stoked to be here. That part of you is still there, but it's hidden inside of the parts of you that are, I just don't want to do it because it's hard. I was battery 0 dead when I started this process. I just stuck my little toe in one at a time. Like, I was like, I can't do this. I can't just dive into becoming a new person. I'm too injured. I'm tired. I'm hurt. I can't tell anyone. I don't know how to express it. But I just put my little baby toe in, and I was like, all right, I'm going to challenge this thing. And I'm like, holy shit, I challenged this thing. That is really happening. And then the next time it happened, I stuck my little toe, and holy shit, I challenged it, and we did the other thing, and it was really cool. So for me, it was like the snowball. I started at the top of the mountain, just a little wreck person, and I had an idea, and I challenged myself. I started doing different things, and all of a sudden it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now I do it all the time, because no matter how much this shit hurts, the person that I am remembering who I am is being uncovered by it. And the person who I actually am, not the person I think I am, but the person I actually am, is awesome. And this world deserves to have her. I deserve to have her. But it took me about 2 years to get to that level of commitment. You don't have to do that now. You just have to find one thing that hurts and you don't like it and you want it to change. And face it as much as you can. Start slow if you need to, or just face the whole damn thing at once. It doesn't matter. But once you do it, you'll feel the change inside of yourself, and it will be terrifying and exhilarating, because you realize that's within your own power. It's not coming from outside. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to be hornswoggled for it. You don't have to give anything. It comes pre-installed in every single human being, and the engine of it is you, nobody else. And we can do this thing. And so in that, I am so excited for the future, because I'm so proud that I got here, and I'm so proud of all of you who I already perceive have gotten there, because we all see through a lens of our own being, right? And I think we're all really fucking cool. Thanks for letting me talk. I enjoyed it.